What is up, friends? I'm here right now in Namkong, Ban Namkong, the Mien town here in Nan. One of the Mien towns. There's a few other ones scattered throughout the place, but I just wanted to do a quick video about why I decided to move to Thailand with my family and why we chose to stay in the province that we are staying in. Now, I'm Tom. You probably met the girls, my wife and two girls.
Nice to meet you all.
And also one more little one, which we haven't seen yet. I was born and raised in the U.S., born in Washington State, lived there all my life, and it's a beautiful state. Being a person that loves the outdoors, Washington is a big playground for those who love the outdoors. Right? There's fishing, there's hunting, and I really enjoyed it. We didn't have a lot growing up, just like most Mien folks. We got by, and my mind changed when in 2010 when I made a trip to Thailand. During that trip to Thailand, it opened my eyes, and I saw the way the people lived, and they were happy. They didn't have what I had, right? I mean, I didn't have anything really, but then what I saw was they really didn't have much, and they were happy. And then in the U.S., once I got back, it's like we have things, and people still complain, and they're not content, and they want more. And there's this culture which I soon to which it like just traveling into growing up in like a first world country and then traveling to another country which is not there yet. In a sense, they're like still chasing as far as like technology and stuff goes, and they're still advancing. Like just taking a step back, it opened my eyes, and to me, it changed the way I thought. So after just seeing, after like multiple trips after 2010, I made a few. I tried to make a trip every year back to Thailand just to go check out like the lifestyle. Like the more that I experienced the culture in America, the more I grew to dislike it. It's just everybody wants to live quick, or at least I should say it's all about that quickness. Not everybody, but America is all about like fast, fast. Well, yeah, fast food. Yeah, just want to do things quick, right? You got the microwave for 30 seconds, but you can't even wait for 30 seconds. You stop it at like 20, or you stop it at like 25. Can't even wait for the full 30 seconds, right? You just got people at the red light just honking you because the light changed green, and then they expect you to peel out real away right away, or because the light turned green and they expect you to just go right away, and if not, you get honked first. It's just stuff like that. It's that fast pace. And one thing I experienced also, during COVID, right? COVID kind of slowed everything down. And one thing I experienced at a restaurant was that somebody was asking for a discount because they didn't get their food quick enough, right? In my mind, I wanted to tell that person off, especially knowing that the restaurant is understaffed because of COVID, right? So there's not a lot of staffing, and it's busy because everything is to go, right? So And then I see that the restaurant owners, they're trying their best to make sure that that the orders are correct, everything is packed correctly. But then just these few customers, just they expected their meals quick, they expected their meals faster, right? And then they asked for a discount because of that, and that really, it really pissed me off just seeing stuff like that. And especially when you see like the restaurant owners, they're working hard. It's not like they're slacking off, but then just people just got the nerves to complain about that and ask for a discount. But I held my tongue and didn't say anything to cause more problems. But it's if you guys understand, it's stuff like that. The culture here is not fast. It's not. I mean, yeah, probably in Bangkok and all those other Bangkok's probably like westernized now just because there's so much tourists, and then there is that fast mentality. But I mean, like in the rest of Thailand, is it's like slow, right? And I see that, and I like that. That's the kind of lifestyle that I like. Someone might say, Tom, well, you could move out to the country in Washington, and maybe that'll be slow life. Yes, I also did check out the countries. We went and checked out Colville. We went down to like Ellensburg area, uh, some of eastern Washington, some of the more country sides of Washington. And even going over there, you still get that. There's still that mentality there, right? You still in the grocery store. You got just two carts of people ahead of you, and there's customers that just can't wait, right? And here in Thailand, you got sometimes at the grocery store you got lines, and people's fine. They'll just play on their phone and they'll just hang out. You don't. I rarely, if I see anybody sighing or just breathing all loud and like, ah, why is this cashier so slow? Right? I rarely have I seen that here, and then just seeing that in America, it just made me sick. One of the other things that I also realize, and I believe it's the result of the American culture, is it leads some individuals to feel as if they're better than everyone else. Yes, in America we have better education. Yes, we have better technology and better everything else, but it doesn't mean you're better than everyone else, right? And that's one of the things that I definitely don't want to live around, and certainly don't want my kids growing up feeling or thinking that way. And one example of this, just not too long ago when we were up in Chiang Mai, I overheard a conversation between some folks. One of them, they were talking about this whole COVID thing, and one of them said, "Oh, I'm not afraid of COVID. I'm from America. I already had three three shots already of Pfizer. How many have you got?" And it's stuff like that. I mean, yeah, we have good medication, technology, education, but it doesn't mean we're better off than anybody else. It's ever since go seeing the culture in Thailand, it opened my eyes to see stuff like that, and I didn't want to live around stuff like that. There's that, and I mean we also we're in America, we're also the middle class, and living middle class is so hard. Just thanks to I'm a person of faith. Thanks to Jesus Christ, thanks to God, he provides for us, even though we don't ask for it, and we were able to get by. But just living middle class is so hard, and you have your upper class, they're okay, they don't have to worry. And then you have your lower class, they get taken care of by the government. They're driving these fancy cars, and They're living good, right? Barely working, right? And medical bills paid for, and here, we're the middle class, right? And we're working our butts off, right? Trading shifts with our wife so we can watch our kids because daycare is just so expensive, right? And we ask for assistance from the government, and we don't even qualify because our income is so high. Taking this big step to Thailand took some time, so it did take a lot of praying and a lot of thinking and a lot of waiting, but God put things in place and allowed certain things to happen, which gave me and my family confirmation that, okay, the door is open for you to go. And not only just to come here and, just to live, not only just to come here and get away from the American culture with what I know growing up in the US as far as like, English. I mean, I grew up in the US, right? So I have plenty of that. I mean, I don't have like no university degree or anything like that, but I don't care about all that, right? It's just, what do I have that I can, contribute, to those who need it here in Thailand. Again, like I mentioned earlier, I am a person of faith. So coming here is also an opportunity for me to serve Him in wherever setting He wants me to be in. One of the other things I forgot to mention why we moved to Thailand is also for my two girls, for my two little ones. Living in America, you're considered spoiled. So I didn't want them to live that kind of lifestyle just because they have everything. And I want my kids to see a different way of life, right? To see a different way of life and not just to live a life where everything is easily accessible. It's almost like saying living like a harder life instead of an easier life, right? If we as their parents can live this way, then they should also be able to live that way as well. Then once they get older, they'll be able to survive, right? If you live a lifestyle where everything is available, once it comes time to survive, it's gonna be hard. Right? Once it comes time where access is limited, you're gonna be like, okay, what am I gonna do? I don't have this. I don't have that. So that's also another reason why we wanted to show them a different lifestyle. So in the future, they'll be able to survive. So there you have it. That's why we chose to move to Thailand, right? Just a simpler life. We don't need to make thousands. We don't need to make hundreds. We can just make enough and be happy. And things aren't gonna cost an arm and a leg. Right? So you don't have to make thousands. You don't have to make millions, right? To get by. And that's one of the cool things. And also for God's glory wherever He wants to use us. Also, the other question I wanted to answer was why did we chose to live in the place that we're living right now, in the city, in the province that we're living in right now. Right now we are living in Nan, Thailand, in the district Mueang Nan. And we chose Nan because most of my wife's family is here. Her mom, her sister, her aunties, her grandparents are all here. So her family is all here in Nan. And it just makes it easier when it comes time for my wife to deliver the baby, just to have family here, so they can watch our the little ones while she's in the hospital. So it just makes life easier in that. So it just makes life easier in that aspect. Once it comes time for delivery, we have family who can watch the kids. And the other reason is, if you compare Nan and let's say Chiang Mai, right? Chiang Mai is already swamped and flooded with individuals who can teach English there. So access to the English is, or access to learning English is plenty there. But non-access to learning English is probably isn't as much. Rather, the opportunity might not be as much compared to Chiang Mai. So remember earlier I said in my mind how I felt like, I wanted to what can I give, right? How can I help those here in Thailand that I am able to do, being a foreigner or being a person who's not a Thai national. I'm pretty restricted to what I can do, and teaching English is one of the things that I'm allowed to do. Right, one of the very few things that I'm allowed to do. So that's why so that's why I felt okay. Non would be a place where if I was to teach English, people would need it more compared to, yeah, I can go and join the thousands in Chiang Mai and teach there and help it grow, but why would I do that, right? How would that help? Yeah, that's helping, but the help would be more needed in a province like Nan or a province like Payao, for example, one of those smaller provinces which doesn't have access to learning English available, or plenty available, I should say. So that's the other reason why we chose Nan. Those are reasons why we decided to just give up everything in the U.S. and decided to move here to this beautiful country, Thailand. Growing up in Washington and living here, the only thing that I say I, the only thing that I say for me that I will be a difficult time to get used to is the weather. Um, the culture and the food, that's no problem. But it's the weather, right? It's hot here, and those of you who are from Washington, Western Washington, know the kind of weather that we have. So it'll take some time for me to adjust to the weather, but other than that, it's smooth sailing. It's it's beautiful here. It's slow living. You don't again, you don't have to go and work, your butt off. You don't have to go and make thousands just to get by. It's cool. You just chill, just make a few hundred, and you're good to go. If that's the lifestyle you like. Again, like everybody's lifestyle and everybody's expectations for living is different. Mine is different as well. But for me and my family, our lifestyle, if we just make hundreds here in Thailand, we're okay with that, and we can get by. Again, like some people, you might need more than that, depending on how you live. Thanks for watching. Again, subscribe if you want. If you don't want to, it's all good. Just come and enjoy the video. I just make these videos just because, right now I'm not doing anything. I'm just relaxing. I've been working my butt off in America for for X amount of years, lack of sleep for X amount of years, and I just want to take a break for a little bit and just soak in the beauty that Thailand has to offer. So I'm just making these videos just to share with you all what I'm experiencing, and that's it. So subscribe if you want. If you don't want to, it's all good. Just enjoy the video and hopefully you learn something. I learned something. We're learning something all the time. We're learning something new all the time. So until next time, I'll see y'all again. Peace out.